With the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, we now have 6 Deadpool and Wolverine films. So today I thought it was time for me to stop and rank all Deadpool and Wolverine films, ranked from the worst to the best. Please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My name is SDubNation, and you're free to comment down below your very own ranking of all 6 of the Deadpool and Wolverine films. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter, that link is in the description, along with that TikTok, that link is also in the description as well. Most of my shorts, my reviews, my rankings go over there to the TikTok first, so you can get content earlier. With all of that out of the way, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into our ranking. Kicking off our list at number 6 for me is X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, obviously this is at the bottom here. Just a misfire, ain't even a word. It's hard to kind of talk about this movie because while it's bad, I kind of have a soft spot for it. I enjoy watching this movie, mainly because of Hugh Jackman. I think Hugh's performance is pretty good. He tries to salvage this movie the best that he can, and he also looks great too. I think this is probably one of his best looks that he's ever looked in as Wolverine. It's a mutant paradise. You know, you're seeing the Blob, you're seeing Will.i.am's mutant, you're seeing Sabretooth, you're seeing Gambit. I love seeing all of these mutants. Emma Frost, you're also seeing Cyclops in there. This is cool. This is great to see all of these mutants in one spot, but the writing is just all over the place. It's a revenge story that's not interesting enough. With all of its cliches and bad CGI, you forget just how much canon this film breaks. Sabretooth and Professor X, it's kind of odd that they're inside of this film because it kind of breaks the canon of what we know from the original trilogy. Even with Cyclops being involved, all of it is weird, all of it is very confusing. So I really feel as though this film is not even canon to the X-Men saga, but it was made to give a little bit more background on Logan, and it doesn't even do that right. Not only that, we get our first look at Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, and they sewed his freaking mouth shut. How do you sew the merc with a mouth shut? Makes no sense whatsoever. Just like this film. Top 5 list is the Wolverine. I like this movie. I do. I really like this movie, low-key. I mean, what's cooler than Wolverine fighting ninjas in Japan? Wolverine fighting ninjas in Japan. I watched this film on Disney Plus, and on Disney Plus they don't include that fight with the ninjas, so it kind of leads the film to just be fine enough for me. I don't understand why that was in the extended cut. I wish it was in the original cut, but then they also had to make room for that god-awful Silver Samurai fight by the end. But the overall movie is fine. It's good. It's in no way bad. Everything in this movie does the right things. Hugh's performance, his survivor's guilt, and also its connection to The Last Stand, kind of making The Last Stand a little bit better. And not just that, we get to see what a vulnerable Logan looks like before Logan, and once his healing factor comes back into play, it's satisfying to see him take a sword to the heart and pull it out as a Silver Samurai type way. James Mangold comes out swinging with 2 fabulous acts. Unfortunately, the third falters, deeming this film utterly forgettable. Number 4 is Deadpool 2. It's a worthy enough follow-up to the first film. They give you more of what you loved about the first while also trying to give Wade more of a personal conflict. So on my channel, you can see Deadpool 2 clips from when the movie first came out, and it's just kind of surreal that I'm here again talking about Deadpool 2, but also reviewing and ranking Deadpool and Wolverine. It's so fantastic that that actually happened. So while this film is more character focused, they kind of go for everything. I mean, they're riffing off DC, they're poking fun at DC, they're having X-Men cameos, Cable's in there, Juggernaut, more mutants, jokes on jokes on jokes, and because of that, the film can easily feel like the charm that worked so well in the first film is buried underneath the weight of all of the meta gags. Ryan Reynolds is still charming as ever. He's still funny as ever. It's just not the one that I'm going to put in at any moment. Top 3 is Deadpool and Wolverine. Please do not get upset by this. I know a lot of people think that this is the best Deadpool film. In my opinion, it's second best. I loved this movie. I had a blast with this movie. It's not the best of the year, but it's certainly one of the most entertaining. I had a whole lot of fun. It's a fabulous, soulful tribute to the Fox era of Marvel. And I love that about the film because I grew up at a time where I was playing Lego Marvel superheroes. I was playing games where Iron Man and the Silver Surfer were flying next to each other, and I couldn't see that in the movies. You know what I had? I had Fantastic Four. I had Spider-Man 2. I had X-Men. This was around a time where seeing all three Spider-Men swing together could never be done. Seeing Wolverine say F the Avengers could never be done. And this film kind of makes dreams come true. And the way that it pays tribute to those films that paved the way for the MCU to be as successful as it is today, that made me emotional. I was on the verge of man tears, seeing all of the cameos happen, seeing the tribute to Fox, to that Fox era of Marvel. And yeah, it wasn't perfect, but that's all we had. I love that about this film. I'm surprised that Marvel even allowed, much less Disney allowed, Deadpool to get away with so much stuff. Even its own bashing. Deadpool bashes Marvel and Disney so much in this film. Hugh is obviously great as Wolverine. He brings some sincerity to everything that he says. Likewise, Ryan is given more of a serious arc here. Many times you felt as if Deadpool was finally an actual character. The humor is irreverent. I think it's the funniest of all of the Deadpool films. The action is huge and the cameos are shocking. If you haven't seen this film yet, you are not ready. While the villain is serviceable, I feel as though the story aligns itself well with that of No Way Home, albeit way better and doesn't cheat as much as No Way Home does. I would say it's probably the best multiverse film of the MCU and probably one of the best MCU films that we've had in a long time since No Way Home. I expected nothing less from Sean Levy. Our runner-up is Deadpool. This film is one of a kind because it shouldn't exist. It's all because of a leak that it exists. While the world was loving Captain America and Doctor Strange was just coming into the fold and the Avengers were everywhere, X-Men were kind of struggling here, Deadpool comes out swinging with a film that offers something different for the comic book movie genre. It's kind of a special film, you know. It's very special because the budget was so low, and then they cut the budget midway through filming that they had to make excuses for why we couldn't have a huge shootout in the final act. Likewise, the irreverent humor was new for this genre, and it's satisfying to see someone kind of break the fourth wall and poke fun at Green Lantern or poke fun at the other cinematic universes and just have a blast with this character that is mentally aware that he's in a comic book film. But they also play this film very serious. Ryan Reynolds killed it in this part. It's the better version of Origins in every single way because this is a revenge plot too, just like that film, but told in a non-linear style that's simple and straightforward. The film is fast, it's funny, it's the whole R-rated superhero package. While Deadpool and Wolverine goes for a bigger and bolder spectacle, it was nice and refreshing to just revisit this film and have a small-scaled revenge story. But coming in at my number one is Logan. Was there any doubt that this film would be at number one? Logan is just the greatest. It's one of the most poignant superhero flicks of our time, probably one of the most poignant films that I've ever seen. James Mangold returns to give us a somber yet satisfying end to the most iconic on-screen X-Men, allowing Hugh to play this character in a way he hasn't done before. And because we watched 17 years of Hugh playing this character, we get all of the context, we get all of the background on him. So this death feels satisfying. It feels earned because we spent 17 years with this character. I thought it was very smart to bring in Professor X. I'm not going to talk on this part too much, but I think it's smart to bring in Professor X, seeing how Logan still cares for him. Logan is still trying to take care of this man who gave him a chance, who saw something in him. This film genre blends to become a Western. The film touches on life, death, regrets. It's gritty, it's nuanced, it's violent. Logan proves that these films can be more than just cape flicks for comic book fans. And while Deadpool and Wolverine is a comic book fan's dream, that movie can't top this movie. This is why Logan has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list. It was just my list. And you're free to comment down below your very own ranking of the Deadpool and Wolverine films, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Please note that I don't hate any of these films. I actually have a fun time watching Origins. I love Logan. So, yeah, please be aware of that in the comment section below. With all that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.